29, 2017, South Plainfield Mayor and Council agenda meeting. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Councilman Benjavenda?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Fostini?
Here.
Councilman Besh?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Council President White?
Here. Thank you. Can you take us through a review of tonight's agenda, please?
Yes, this evening, Mr. Mayor, we have one matter on for executive session. It's a contractual matter pertaining to the computer IT system. We have approval of council minutes for December 19th. There are 18 resolutions on this evening, 4 matters of correspondence, payment of bills totaling $674,989.88, council reports, and we conclude with public comments. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just want to mention, at one of our last meetings, Mr. Cyrus in the audience, it was brought up in regards to, I guess, not having the certain values on. So Amy and I went back and forth on how to handle Resolution 17-39, where there's an original assessment, new assessment, the tax year, the rate, the dollar value. And sometimes when you have one of these appeals, it may be 5 years, maybe 6 years, and when you're putting the original assessment, the new assessment, it's almost essentially putting the actual resolution almost on the agenda. So what we came up with is going forward, we would display it the way it is, and then at the agenda session, I would just let everybody know, this is an estimate now because we haven't gotten the calculation, the formal final calculation from the tax collector. This is from the assessor's office, but Resolution 1739, which is for 2500 Hamilton Boulevard, there was 1 year withdrawn, 2013, and then you have 15 and 16. I left everyone a copy. The estimated refund on that appeal is $25,896, so just under $26,000. So that's how we were going to try to do it, so that everybody would know what they're voting for. The public would know, is that okay? Does everybody feel that that's, the information that you need?
Just to clarify, we're voting on recommendation for settlement,
Correct.
but the actual appeal and refund will be voted on at a later time with a dollar.
Correct. Everybody's good?
Good? Any council thoughts?
I have a question.
Sure.
You have 1739 at the start of this, but obviously 1739 was on the last agenda because it's also referenced in 1750.
Yeah, the number sequence was off because we added,
So
we had
shouldn't-
to add a resolution to
So
this.
but next week now you have two 1739.
Yes.
That's okay?
Yes.
Okay. That's a little confusing because you're referencing 39, but then you're also referencing 39. Okay, got
Yes, it is okay.
it. Okay.
Okay. Council thoughts?
And that's it.
Any council thoughts regarding the handling of that going forward?
I'm fine with it. I think that it shows the figures, it's laid out clearly, the years, the dollar, the reassessment amount, and then what the estimated total would be. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
appropriate information.
look, I know Mr. Sider has brought this up in the past, and I do think it's a valid comment. I can't say that I've heard, a lot of feedback regarding residents of this, so I think pretty much the people who are here, as long as, it's okay with, with Mr. Sider, and actually, this discovering body, I'm okay with it. I know these things can get a little, a little difficult.
I think one of the things is that there is going to be another resolution coming up later in the year, once the tax collector and the settlement is final, which will then authorize us to do the refund. And that's when the dollar amount will be on the resolution.
Yeah. And look, I think it's clear not to realize that. If you're not up here, you're not used to doing that. I mean, tax attorney is probably crystal clear. Most residents probably not. But yeah, whatever we can do to, to simplify things, not just in this issue, but going forward, I think makes sense. Any other council comments on agenda items? administrator comments.
Yes, sir. I want to separate 1752, please.
Okay. Anything else? Can I get a motion authorizing the executive session for contractual computer IT, resolution 17-30?
So,
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will have executive session tonight. At this point, we'll open up for public comments on agenda items only. Seeing none, close the public portion. And at this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's agenda meeting.
so
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. We are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also been provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll once more?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilman Besh?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Council President White?
Here. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilman Dean.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, please bless the residents of South Plainfield. Please protect our police, fire, and emergency services, and all our volunteers. Amen.
At this point, we'll open up once again for public comments on agenda items. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Can I get a motion for the approval of the council minutes December 19th, 2016 agenda, public and executive?
Second?
Motion by Councilman Wolak, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Here, yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for for resolution 17-39 to 17-51, 17-53 to 56?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Council President White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
So sorry. Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you, Amy. Can I also get a motion for adoption of resolution 17-52?
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Faustini and Councilman Wolak. Amy, can you call the roll?
Yes. Councilman Benjavanga?
Recused due to Ecovanta is a subsidiary of Covanta, which is a competitor of my employer.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Recuse, same reason.
Passes 4-0.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for approval of correspondence traffic safety advisory minutes, October 26, 2016, planning board minutes for November 29th, environmental commission report of November, and the zoning board of adjustment minutes for December 6,
So
2016. Motion by Council President White,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Wolak. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
yes.
Passes 6-0.
Can I get a motion for payment of the bills of $674,989.88?
Motion?
Second.
Motion, Councilwoman Faustini, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman Besh?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President White?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, anything for us tonight?
Progress, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cullen?
Progress.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, as you all know, we had a little snow over the weekend, and it persisted for a while, so we had to call the contractors in on Saturday, but think we took care of everything relatively well and with that progress.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Antonides?
Progress, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Dean?
Progress, and the only thing I got is, I guess, our committee meeting will be January 11th, so I'll report back to council.
Okay. Councilwoman Fusting?
Yes, I haven't had any official committee meetings yet, so I guess progress, except I do want to announce that February 4th, I'm putting together, in conjunction with the Library and Cultural Arts, there will be a town-wide celebration with BILA, the Buddhist International Light Association at the Senior Center. Final itinerary will be forthcoming, but that will be February 4th at 12:30 at the Senior Center.
And BILA is located here in the borough, and I know they reached out to me late last year, and we're offering to do that celebration, so happy to partner with them. Councilman Benjamin?
Yes, Mayor, just wanted to mention some items were brought up at the reorg by Councilman Dean, which involved traffic, so I spoke to Lieutenant Dallaire, and we will be discussing them at our next traffic safety meeting, which will be on the fourth Wednesday of this month, so I'll report back after that what their recommendations are. And with that,
Thank you. Councilman Vest?
We've not had any committee meeting yet, but I was in touch with Len throughout the storm, and he kept me apprised of his progress and if he had any problems, and it went pretty smooth, except for maybe, I think there was an issue with the contractors, that they didn't give us enough, or was that a problem, or?
Well, we were 3 vehicles short. Actually, each contractor was 1 vehicle short, but we moved our manpower around and we made it work. We covered.
Yeah, I think you did a wonderful job, and I didn't get any calls or any complaints, so that's a good thing.
Actually, this is a storm, I think, it sets a record in exactly that backup. So I know Administrator Cullen didn't get a call. I didn't get a call. I'd been down and I spent some time with Len as we were preparing, I don't know, probably around 3 o'clock Len or something like that. So yeah, as Len knows, sometimes you wish for a little bit bigger storm. I'm sure Gary, in your years of experience, wish for something a little bit longer. When you're on that 2 to 3 inch storm, it can be tricky, right?
You have to wait for these to plow, and you use a lot of salt in the meantime.
Yeah, so there is something that I shared with the administrator and I think the council president. And I think this was done, I believe it was Virginia. I'm not sure exactly where. They have a great presentation that they put on their site that kind of sets out policy. And more than the policy, really an education of exactly what happens in certain storms. And there might be a little bit different when you look at the county makeup versus local municipalities, but on each variation of the storm, 2 inches or under certain, different increments, what the local government does, what the Department of Public Works does, what the county might do. So I'll pass it over to you to get your opinion on that as well, and Len's opinion, but I think it's something that we should adopt. Because a lot of times you do get that, and I can understand knowing, exactly what it takes. It's a little bit different, but the average resident, again, out there, who may be sitting at home on a Saturday, doesn't see a plow till 4 or 5 or o'clock or so, is probably wondering what's going on. And so sometimes I think we take things for granted. Councilman Dean, I'm sure you have a lot of experience plowing as well. But again, there's a whole multitude of folks out there who probably were just wondering what was going on or if we were coming around. So I know we try and use social media, Nixle, and all that stuff to prep the public as to what's going on. But wherever we can make that a little bit better, I think we have an opportunity here, so I'll be sharing that with you. Councilman Wolf. Thank you, sir. And Council President Wood.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Progress.
Wow. Thank you. This is what happens when you have the first meeting, when you have the reorg very close to the beginning of the year. There's not much that happens on this first meeting. I will say we have some things to look out for. So there's snow on the ground. It's very cold, but we are going to be having our walking challenge again for South Plainfield residents. So we have a fancy new prize and a trophy that the winner gets to hold. So look out for details regarding that coming very soon. So I know there's a lot of dedicated residents who are out there regardless of what the weather is walking, but this is, I think, a fun competition. You can do it in teams, you can do it in individuals, and it promotes healthy activity, so we look forward to doing that. At this point, I will open it up for any public comments. Anything on your mind? Yes, sir.
Hey, no, Mayor. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, with the tattoo license?
Yeah, so I know we had spoken a while earlier, and so Councilman Dean chairs environmental. He is conflicted because I guess he's a prior customer of yours, so he did seek opinion from the councilman. So I believe the other folks on the committee, Councilman Dean and Councilwoman Faustini, are looking at that.
It's okay. I look like him, right?
Did I call you?
Call me Dean.
Councilman Vest. Yes, Councilman Vest and Councilwoman Faustini are looking into that. So what we've already done is taken a look at what some of the other towns doing. I think we have a health advisory board meeting coming up soon.
Yes, I kind of, tried to figure out what's going on since this committee was completely new to me this year, and I'm a new council person. And I spoke with the health inspector, and there is a health advisory group that meets to discuss the fee, and they make recommendations to the council. That meeting was not scheduled to February, but I asked them to please move it up to sometime in January. So I know calls are being made now. We should have a meeting with them by the end of the month. So we should have a recommendation on that fee very soon.
Yeah, so I think your fee isn't due until
March.
1st, yeah.
So at that point, I would imagine we would have the results of what's going on there, and if there is going to be an ordinance that would be, an amendment to that ordinance, I would expect that we would introduce that probably February and have that, adopted in plenty of time for whatever new rate might be enacted. But there's not much more we can do at that point. Now, I know we had a prior committee look at it. I don't know what they ended up doing. They actually never reported back to the governing body. So we're doing it with the new governing body anyway. It will be plenty of time for the new fee. So we'll keep you apprised, but you have my cell phone number. Feel free to reach out to me at any point as well.
All right, thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Can you state your name for the record?
Paul Messina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Anyone else? Anna?
Hello, I'm Hannah Rhodes of Egony Street. I'm a junior at South Plainfield High School. I'm the chairperson for the 2017 inaugural Field of Honor. My mother spoke on behalf of on November 14th meeting because I had work. I would like to provide an update. At that time, we were waiting on direction. I'm happy to say that we're partnering with Mrs. Boyle and the Boyle Memorial Foundation, but still look forward to your support. Sponsorship forms were mailed and emailed in December. We have a response at the citizen level from McCriskin Funeral Home and Jack Peterson Realty, $250 each. Casey Corner and the Batista family also donated. Not a good response, but maybe it was the end of the year. Mr. Carvalho at Investors Bank graciously agreed to sponsor the Field of Honor at its highest level, Hero, for $1,000. It was incredible to me. On December 23rd, I met with him and he gave me my check. He not only sponsored us, but he wants to help us as well. Our sponsorship total date is $1,600, and we are still accepting. The first payment to Colonial Flag was made at the end of December for $850. License fee is of $800. It is still outstanding to my mom. We are waiting for flag sales to come in. Then there are 2 future payments, and that amount plus cost of freight is estimated at $5 per flag. A Facebook post titled 2017 Field of Honor, South Plainfield was established at the end of December. It has over 200 members. We will post updates as well as the sponsor and flag sales forums there. The event has been covered by TAP of South Plainfield, 2 great articles, and the SP Observer printed a letter to the editor. Today I received approval from Colonial Flag for the flag sales form. We can start using it. We will print these at home. It will be on Facebook and copies given to the fire department, police department, rescue squad, high school principal, HAL, senior center, and other locations. I'm hoping that the BOE and the Borough of South Plainfield will allow the file to be posted on their website. I'm also working with the graphic art teacher to prepare about 10 long signs to advertise the event. In addition to the paper form to flags, Sergeant Pete Magnani and his partner have agreed to put the sales on the Charity Vine website and match the difference of the 4% normally deducted so that we get the full amount of the sale. To confirm, the Field of Honor will be placed from May 14th to the 21st. Field setup scheduled for late afternoon on May 13th. Scouting for volunteers will start in February. Flags will be picked up between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. On May 21st. One question I have is who is to contact regarding whether there is any water, electric, or sprinkler lines. We need them marked since each flag is put 1 foot in the ground. There will be a ceremony on Armed Forces Day, May 20th at 2 p.m. Invitations will be sent to the government officials. It'll be great if they come. If not, that's okay. We are encouraging our families and the community to picnic similar to what Bedminster did at their event. We will enforce a leave no trace. Question here is, do we need a permit? It was mentioned to me to provide water and so that either free or at a reduced price. Thank you very much.
Okay, so for the markings, Mr. Miller, you can coordinate that, right?
Yes, what we could do is, there's a system with the state to call in for,
Right.
and then we'll have to see if we have any record of the sprinkler system out there.
Right, but we don't want Hannah calling on government property.
Where's this going?
Oh, it's over by,
Monday.
yeah, mine.
Monument Park?
So there-
I'm calling it.
There is irrigation. We can flag it out because we handle the irrigation there.
Okay.
So just let me know.
Then in utilities, I guess you can call.
Well, the problem is that the flagpole will go in 1 foot into the ground. So we don't want to hit any of the lines.
Lines, we won't know where they are. Yes,
Oh.
we're just gonna
Take a risk.
take a risk. I can only
Don't
mark,
charge
I can
us.
only mark where the heads are.
Yeah, well, okay. What about the legal question? There was a legal question there, wasn't there? Oh, it wasn't a legal question, permit, there was a permit
Yeah,
question?
do we need a permit?
What exactly, permit for what?
Picnic.
Yeah.
Permit for the picnic? I don't think so. Where are we doing the picnic?
It'll be in the seniors.
No, the picnic will be, like, the flags will extend past that field by the rescue squad. And then since you got the little playground there,
It's our park, you get to do the picnic.
okay.
I mean, you don't need a permit. Right.
I
And
mean,
then I don't,
if they were going to Veterans Park, you would need something in case he's got soccer, but not if it was anything behind.
yeah, it would be behind
We
it.
could
And if
work
it
it out.
rained, I doubt they would picnic, and then she'd need to find some tents for the ceremony.
So you have to see, you could need tables, you could need cover, maybe more to it. So, I mean,
No, I thought you said
yeah, maybe,
Yeah, 'cause we need a sound system as well. And then the only other thing that came up to mind was with people walking that day, that afternoon. I know for some ceremonies you block off between Maple and Lake, or for that lane. Would that be possible for an hour or two?
Well, we'll run it through. Chief is nodding initially yes. So, I mean, what I would ask you, you can just get all of these questions as well. I mean, you can work with Len on the markings, and Councilman Dean will work on marking the sprinkler heads.
We
The
have
other-
time for some.
Yeah, the other questions, you can just either send me, you have my email address, send me an email,
Yeah.
or we'll work
I've
on
been
it.
including Joe, Derek, and just that, well,
Yeah,
I think,
I was Councilman Bastille, CC her too, so she knows. 'cause she's
both
on
of you?
there.
Okay.
Just a
All right.
suggestion.
but the specific questions. Other than that, great job.
As we get closer, I think we're gonna have more time to plan it, we're somewhat of a distance away, but, get more organized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Rizzo?
Happy New Year. I'm Jason Rosola, 2529 Hudson Boulevard. Just seeking an update, Councilman Dust, on the engineering, the county engineering. Have they got back to you on the engine braking yet or anything on Hamilton Boulevard?
You already had
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was an ordinance that was introduced,
Okay.
or that was passed back in '07. And then we just, I believe Lieutenant Blair was going to mark, figure out where to put the signs.
Okay.
I don't know, I know you're not engineering, but he was supposed to reach out to the county, right, Mike? I'll follow.
Yeah, it was discussed at the December traffic safety meeting, like the councilman said, we did find the ordinance, so the ordinance already exists.
Correct. I wasn't sure if we heard back from the county yet, that's why I was
Yeah.
wondering from the engineering. So,
excuse me, the county's waiting to hear back from, I would guess, you guys, if there was an ordinance or anything, because the county just has to give a secondary
Okay.
approval.
Okay, because for some reason, my wife thinks that the township police actually were pulling over some trucks one morning, like quickly after our meeting, and pulled over like 4 or 5 trucks that days after.
Yeah, it's
so-
been in existence for
Yeah,
some.
but my recommendation is, once the approval's in, maybe we can get the electronic sign up there, because I really think that, once we just, a couple of days of enforcement, it's only probably a couple of guys here to knock it off.
Yeah.
The word will spread quick, so, instead of putting up a permanent sign, maybe.
Sure.
Just makes sense. Second thing, the 100 Main Street, first off, the council agenda is on for 2017, posted on the website. The planning board will post on the website for 2017. No dates are posted for the zoning board, so I don't know, Ms. Hildebrand hasn't put them up.
The zoning board has, well, when did
They have a meeting on the 17th, and I was promised that'd be on the agenda.
Right, that's their reorg date. So have they, right. Right, but technically, the zoning board has not adopted the 2017 meeting dates yet,
Okay,
even though we know most likely what they're going to be.
so are they having a meeting on the 17th?
They're having a meeting on the
That is noticed and that'll happen, so that'll be the reorg. I think they are also having meetings on that date, but at that reorg, they will adopt the 2017 meeting dates for the rest of the
There's
year.
no agenda, and I haven't been given any kind of notice, so.
Yeah.
Mayor, this is, originally they were put on for the 17th, I'm assuming you're talking about 100 Main Street.
Correct.
I was notified either Thursday or Friday that I guess the applicant's attorney called. He's still in England, and he's not gonna be back by the 17th. So they're now pushing it from the 17th to, I think, in February. So here's what's going on. I haven't had a chance to talk actually to Mr. Rizzo, because there's that property and there's another property in that area where I had a conversation with one of the prosecutors last week, and they seem to think that if these continue to drag on, that the town maybe needs to address these like we did New Market Avenue, but I just haven't had an opportunity.
Well, yeah, I only care about 100 Main, I'm really on sorry, but, it's just 12/7/2015, they were denied the permit, that's a year and 2 months ago now. Or a year and 1 month ago, sorry. So now you're talking about a year and 2 months till, so we gotta do something if we wanna keep people, following our rules around here, so it's important. That's all I have for you. So,
Thank you, sir.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we're closing the public portion. We are going into executive session. You are more than welcome to stay and enjoy the amenities. We will be back as soon as possible.
Yeah.